Let's go. Chop, chop.
Hey, good morning, my friends. It is great to be with you. Man, there's some big waves out there. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning here in Surfside, California, this lovely Wednesday morning. Thanks to all of you who joined us for last night's live show. That was a lot of fun. Mike Morrison was operating on 2 hours sleep in the last 48 hours on that show, and I gotta say, he did such a great job. He's such a nice person, the manager of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. Go back and watch that show. Mike shares a lot of great information, including local bluefin tuna that he says you can reach easily right now. I'll have more on that in just a moment. Of course, we'll talk about Mexico fishing. We'll talk about what's going on the long range scene, and we'll cover rock fishing and so much more. You know what time it is, my friends. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning. So good. All right, great to be with you all. Thanks again for joining us. Once again, it was a great show last night. Thanks for hitting that like button last night, and thanks for joining us. We are up to 1.5 million views now, 6,000 subscribers. I owe that all to you, so I indulge you one more time again. Hit that like button, please. Share these videos if you're enjoying them. Subscribe, and of course, tick the little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. All right, we got a lot to cover with you. Let's get into it. I'll be out in Azusa later this evening at the Challengers Anglers Club. Looking forward to seeing those great guys out there. And then Thursday night, Danny Cadota will be on the show. Can't wait to do that. Tuesday, we do our live show, the Friedman Adventures live show. Danny does his live show on Thursday evenings. Next Tuesday, I intend to come to you from Mexico Lindo. I'll be down in Mexico, up in Baja California Norte, and that should be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. We'll be covering the fishing and so much more down there in that neck of the woods. Hey, we got a very special event. The Battle of the Branches fundraiser is this Saturday, 9 a.m. There's a great raffle with tons of prizes, an auction. It's at BNS 10960 Wheatlands Avenue in Santee, California. My friend Dino has a lot to do with that. Just Google BNS fundraiser and it should pop up for you. Great event. And of course, Battle of the Branches, I attended that last year, shot a video there. It's a great, great, great event. I saw my good friend Greg Brown from Ops and Fluorocarbon down there. He's a big supporter. And all the different branches of our armed forces, the men and women who protect us every single day, come together and have a big fish off. And man, I was on board the Top Gun 80, got to see my friend Bobby Taft and spent some lovely time with the Gold Star mom and her daughter, Lily. It was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. But this Saturday, you can take part in that. All right, how about we just cut to the chase? I teased this local bluefin thing, and then I'll jump across the border. But in case you're tuning in for just that story, here I am. I'm going to lay it on you. So Mike Morrison, if you watched the show last night, would not, I repeat, would not divulge the where. He is sworn to secrecy by a guy in a skiff who caught bluefin tuna the day before yesterday, I forget, but in the last 48 hours, let's put it that way. And Morrison says it's very, very close to home. Very close to home. So there's an answer. Are the bluefin tuna still around? Yes, they are. If you trust Mike Morrison, and I certainly do, a man of his word. Remember, he jumped off the stern of the Freedom because he lost a bet with me. So Mike Morrison says it is close, and he believes you could go almost anywhere and catch bluefin tuna right now, kind of on that same path that they've been taking back side of Catalina Island. He did mention that, and I'm sure there's fish on the Tanner and Cortez. He did mention that. So Mike Morrison saying there's still bluefin tuna around, and you know, that doesn't surprise me one bit. With all the squid that is inhabiting our islands, our coastal regions, the market to China, the commercial market, shut down this year. So a lot of that squid is doing its thing all by itself. And man, you got to think it's setting up for a huge spring, if not something might occur sooner than that. So we'll keep our eyes on it for you very, very closely. But that's the info. Take it or leave it. It sounds good to me. Let's jump across the border. Cabo San Lucas, my good friend Sean Morgan down there out of San Jose del Cabo. He's fishing in the Wild and Sac. If you'd like to do a great charter, you could do it with Sean. He's very fishy. The boat is beautiful, and it's a lot of fun catching striped marlin down there, as well as a few dorado. They're nice ones, though. There's been some really nice big dorado down there in that neck of the woods. We're going to get you 140 miles below our border now. Tijuana down below there, and that San Quintin area. Good yo-yo iron, yellowtail fishing going on down there for the boats that are fishing, some along the beach, some out there at San Martin Island. Yo-yo iron doesn't require, but good idea to fish at least 50 pound. I like fishing heavier than that. Drop a jig down to the bottom, wind on it as fast as you can, and man, it's so much fun when that thing loads up and you got a big forky on there. So keep that in mind. That's going on, and they have copious amounts of colorful and delicious rockfish also biting down there. Ensenada, where I will be on Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing a lot of dear friends down there. Once again, good rock fishing. Some bigger bonita there around Punta, occasional yellowtail, and that has been looking pretty darn good down there in that neck of the woods. Our friends there at Blackfin Sport Fishing, Victor and all the great people that work there make you feel so at home, and they're such good fishermen. You'll enjoy fishing with them, I guarantee you that. Going down the beach and catching nice rockfish, a lot more lings in the cooler water, and starting to bite on dropper lube with a mackerel. That's a good way to get bit, but some guys just like to bounce an iron or a big swim bait. Man, those lings love to bite on that. So that is really fun. Did you see that incredible creature yesterday? We put it on our YouTube shorts, and man, that was really something. That small sperm whale. It was either a pygmy sperm whale or a dwarf sperm whale. I showed it to a mammologist, an expert who studies mammals, and she said, hard to tell from the angle, but it's one of those two. Extremely rare for those waters, and I want to thank the folks that found that creature down there. In fact, it washed up in front of this gentleman's house who owns Tequila's. It's a bar called Tequila Sports Bar, something like that. I'll be there doing our live broadcast, and he also has a great sport fishing business down there, 4 Reels Sport Fishing. The number 4 Reels Sport Fishing. I can't wait to get down and hang out in Ensenada, and of course I will be trying to get you more and more fishing information. They've got some great tournaments coming up. It should be really a great year in Baja California Norte, which now rivals Sur. I mean, down in Cabo you have the ambience and you have all the beauty, and you have marlin fishing and everything else, but there was a time when it wasn't even close. Now with these giant bluefin every single year, Baja California Norte, a drive for us that's just a few hours in Southern California, is definitely viable, and they are really turning the heat up. In San Diego, you can take a rig, a boat out of there. All the landings are providing trips down to Punta Colinet. That's $120 down the Baja coast. Good rock fishing, some good yellowtail fishing on the yo-yo iron, all that available to you. San Diego really has no closed season on the rockfish, because when rock fishing closes in the United States from the first of the year until April this year, you just go across the border. In fact, the Premier is doing that Monday through Friday, going across the border fishing rockfish, providing great action and table fare for all of their customers. On the weekends, they fish double half days, so you can check into that if you want to go get some beautiful and delicious rockfish down there in that neck of the woods. On the coastal regions, we continue to catch sand bass. Marcus Fain, check him out on our cover. Good job, Marcus. Such a nice gentleman. Headed to Cabo with his lovely wife here very, very soon. And of course, Marcus, I wish you both the best fishing trip you could ever imagine. And with your attitude, I know how you are. Catch them, don't catch them. You're going to have a really wonderful trip because of your positivity, and that is great to see. All right, so as I say, down there around Dana Wharf, up in Marina del Rey, their twilight fishing's been great. That's where that photo came from with Marcus. The Monte Carlo at a 22nd Street landing. They should be out this weekend. Lovely weather, awful big surf, but lovely weather. You get offshore there a little ways, and it's nice. and I'm thinking they could come up with some bass. Now remember, wintertime bass fishing is on structure. 40-pound fluorocarbon is a great way to go. It gets bit, it's abrasion resistant, and fishing a lead head or a 2-ounce sliding egg sinker or a dropper lube rig is the way to go. Big hook, like a 3/0 to 5/0 size hook in a fresh dead squid, drop it down, and when you get bit, start pulling. Pull, 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 get them away from that structure, and you got a half a chance at a nice sand bass. And man, some of these sand bass, you look at photos up there out of Delray, and they are nice big fat ones. There's a lot of that 3 to 5 pound fish. Guys will say that there's quite a few bigger than that, but it looks like those bigger ones are about that grade to me, which is spectacular. Nice fish, no question about it. Surf, there has been a few halibut on the Lucky Crafts. There's some yellowfin croaker. You could definitely fish this. Although you got some big waves, it's still very fishable. No problem at all. Right now is when you're making your cast and you're dragging your 3/4 ounce crocodile right through there, right before that second wave cast. Or if you're going to cast right now, you're casting as long as you get beyond this wave that's breaking, and then you're going to come back through that white water. Remember, these surf fish stage back there, and when the waves crash, it gets sand crabs and clams and everything else up, and they come in to feed on that. That's when you want to come through with something like that, a Castmaster or something like that. There's also more and more barred perch moving in here because of the cold water. Good fishing up down the county line. That's been good. And the beaches around San Quintin down in Baja California Norte and Colonet. Wow, has that been something to marvel at. It has really been excellent fishing down there in that neck of the woods. All right, my friends, Thursday night, Danny Cadota will have another great show for you. I love working with Danny. He is so knowledgeable, and more than anything, he's just a good human being. And they're hard to find sometimes. Actually, you look at the Friedman Adventure family, and there's a whole bunch of those good human beings running around, participating last night in a great show with Mike Morrison. Go back and listen to it. I'm sure you'll have some fun. I think Mike and I did a 2.5-hour show last night, something like that. It was really great to be with you. And pound on that like button today, please. Share these videos with a friend. I deeply appreciate that. And of course, as always, I hope that I see you really, really soon. See if this is warm still. Yeah, kind of lukewarm, still not bad. Hey, take care, and once again, I'll see you soon. Take care.
This is not a translator. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you.
I'm Desiree.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Yeah, this is I'm so happy. Oh my god, Phil, how the hell did you do
Check out
so?
this unusual creature that washed up in front of Louis Prieto's house in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. Dr. Gwen Goodman-Lowe from California State University at Long Beach says it's either a dwarf or pygmy sperm whale. Hard to tell from the angle. Extremely rare for these waters and rarely seen at sea. Most of what knowledge we have about these creatures comes from specimens that have washed ashore.
To make a great ceviche, start with fresh fish. Cube it and add fresh lime juice. This is what it looks like after about 4 hours. And now it's time to get creative. Add what you like. In this case, onions, more lime juice. Then we're going to throw some cucumbers and tomatoes, also some diced jalapenos and cilantro, salt, and pepper. Mix the fish in, serve it, and of course top it with some beautiful avocado, some sliced onions, and some chips. And then serve it to a friend. They are going to love you.